If you run a law firm, accounting practice, or consulting business, and you're thinking about hiring a marketing agency, I'm going to give you 4 questions you need to ask before you sign anything. I'm Sharyn Honey Lowe, creator of the Flaunt Factor program, and today I'm going to save you a significant amount of money and frustration. Now, I'm sure most of you have received a brand strategy from a graphic designer at some point. You know what I'm talking about. 5 pages of the blindingly obvious that you already knew. Generic customer personas with names like Skeptical Steve or Frustrated Frank. And maybe, if you're lucky, a mood board with some nice fonts. Look, that's not a strategy. That's a graphic designer doing their best impression of a strategist so they can sell you a website redesign. Now, here's the dirty secret of the agency world that nobody tells professional services firms. Most agencies give a strategy away for free or bundle it cheaply into their fees. And the reason they do that is not generosity. It's because strategy is their loss leader. Their website and logo redesign, that's where they make their money. Strategy is just a pathway to selling you those things, which means the strategy they produce isn't designed to be the best strategy for your business. It's designed to justify the tactics they were already planning to sell you. And here's what that looks like in practice, just so I can really hammer up the point here for you. A firm gets a brand strategy from their agency. The strategy concludes, surprise, surprise, that they need a new website, that they need a new logo, they need an ad campaign and a social media presence, all of which the agency happens to provide. So, problem, how do you find an agency that will actually serve your interests rather than their own? Well, you ask these 4 questions. Now, please ask them in the first meeting, before you've seen their credentials deck, before you've been impressed by their client list, and before you've fallen in love with your office, because these are all ways that they sell to you, and this is what gets you sucked in. So, write down these 4 questions. Question number 1. Question you want to ask is, do you charge for creating a brand strategy? If the answer is no, or if they bundle it cheaply into the overall fee, walk away. Strategy that costs nothing is worth nothing. A genuine brand strategy for a professional services firm requires significant research, deep expertise, and substantial time, a minimum of 50 hours. If they're not charging for that, they're not doing it properly. Question number 2, what is your process for developing strategy? If they can't show you a documented, proven, step-by-step process, you don't want them setting your strategy. Making it up as they go along is not a process. A process has stages, deliverables, research methodologies, and documented outcomes. Ask to see it. If they can't produce it, you have your answer. Question number 3. Does your agency also offer marketing tactical execution? And this is when it gets interesting. If the answer is yes, they do strategy and they sell you the tactics to execute it, you have a conflict of interest. They're not objective. Their strategy recommendations will inevitably point towards the services they profit from most. The best strategic advisors are technically agnostic. They recommend what's right for your business, regardless of whether they personally benefit from it. And question number 4, and this is the killer question, so save this one for last and deliver it calmly. Sit back and watch their face carefully, because this is not a nice question to ask, but if they're the right people, they'll answer it correctly. The question is, are you okay if I use your brand strategy work and then appoint a completely different agency to deliver the tactics? If they hesitate, you have your answer. If they say no, you have your answer. If they say yes without flinching, you might have found someone worth talking to. Because this question separates genuine strategists from agencies using strategy as a sales funnel. A true strategic advisor doesn't care who executes the work. They care whether the strategy is right. And they're going to give you recommendations that are right for the strategy, not right for their back pocket. Professional services firms spend enormous amounts on marketing agencies every year, and a significant portion of that investment produces beautiful reports, impressive-looking campaigns, but flat results. Not because the agencies are bad at what they do, but because strategy came after tactics instead of before them. So, get independent strategy first. Brief your agencies after, and ask that killer question before you sign anything. And remember, download the free agency pressure test in the description below. It includes the questions that your marketing people hope you never ask, including the ones to ask your agency at your next review meeting. And subscribe. There's a lot of these podcasts just for you professional services firms. I'm doing 10 in total, so make sure that you listen to them all because, of course, they're all gold. I'll see you at the next one.